So we are going to talk about spiritual attacks. Spiritual attacks, okay? It's a beautiful day, so let's have a conversation. Spiritual attacks have been happening. They have been happening since you was a kid. I love blowing these things. They have been happening since you was a kid. And you did not know exactly what was a spiritual attack. Speaking from a black sheep perspective, I grew up asking myself a lot of questions of that family. I was a bit skeptical. What is this thing all about? What does this mean? What does that mean? I had a lot of questions, but I did not have the answers. So I grew up questioning reality. But of course, we all know when you try to ask or to dig deeper, you will be gaslit and put back to sleep. Gaslighting means putting you back to sleep. Many areas of your life, chosen ones, you have been attacked. Now you see, the difference is now you know, but before you didn't know. Now it's becoming very clear because you see around everybody how they move. The what do they call those people? The Decepticons. You see, before you didn't know. Because if you knew that your life was under attack, you would never stay around the narcissist for all those years. You have been attacked from day one. Now you see, the attacks depend on your level of awareness, where you are consciously. So if you're way down there, like a zombie, you don't ask questions, you just move around like everybody else, you just do what everybody does, then the attacks don't need because you're already playing the game. So there's nothing to attack because you're already playing along with the game. But when you start raising your level of consciousness and awareness, and you are going up the ladder, then eventually that's when you start to experience them. So they are less when you're not aware. They become more when you become more and more aware, because the more awareness you have, the more questions you ask. Like I said, when you start peeling off the layers and seeing what has usually been happening behind the veil, then that's when you understand that you have always been under attack. Before, many years ago, it was little, almost you couldn't realize. Personally, I was attacked by my narcissistic parents for many years, spiritually, physically. But back at the time, I did not have a name for it, so I didn't know what it was. I didn't need to figure it out. I didn't know what it was. I just let it pass. Post-awakening, I now realized what this attack was, and it was time for me to start defending myself. Post-awakening, like I've said, you're digging deeper. You get into the bottom of things. And that is where the attacks will intensify. Because you see, the people that are attacking you, their attacks are only effective for as long as you are sleeping. You were asleep, so their attacks will be effective because you are asleep. So they don't expect you to ask anything. They'll be attacking you behind the scenes because you see, that's what witches do. Those narcissistic people, they are witches. Those narcissists and whatever, those toxic people, there's no difference from witches, witchcraft. The same thing. They attack you behind the scenes. So you don't know who is attacking you, but they are plotting behind the scenes to attack you. Whether it is plotting physically or whether it is plotting spiritually. But they don't attack you in your face. Because again, we all understand the devil doesn't want to be caught. But when you catch up on these games, you wake. Something triggers you to wake up. Now it's no longer a secret that you've always been under attack, and this time the attacks intensify. The attacks intensify because, again, I've told you, you're peeling off the layers. And now because you have snapped, it is easier now to see these attacks play out in real time. You can see them. They are playing out in real time and you know what is going on. Before you didn't know. Now you're starting to know. If you're a chosen one and you are not attacked, because you see, the chosen one, if you want to know who is attacking you, it is the system. The system is the one that is attacking you. It is the system that is fighting against you. By the system, I'm talking about you're against your family, you're against your church, you're against your government, you're against this, you're against your relationships. Is you against the system. Okay? Some people want to go ahead and call it the matrix. It is the system that is against you. So because the system is against you, the attacks happen because your spirit doesn't energetically align with the system. Okay? Your spirit doesn't energetically align with the system. Your beliefs, your values, your essence is why you see, for example, the chosen ones, the black sheep of the families, is why you see you and your family are not aligned. You're not the same. You're not the same people. You look like them. You grew up together. But on a spiritual level, you're not the same people. You have a family which is completely going the other side. You are going the other side. And your side is the least taken side. Everybody follows to the other side. You are the only one that is going that way. You are against the system. Because your spirit doesn't match with the environment. So because you happen to be operating at that frequency is why the system has always been attacking you. Is why I've told you that you guys, you may think that these attacks are just happening recently. It just started happening yesterday. No. It has been happening many, many years. He wasn't aware of it. A very long time ago, even in past lives, it has just been a continuation of the battle that you've always been fighting from the beginning of time. The entity has been the same. The energy has been the same, but in different lifetimes. So in the other lifetime, you might have been fighting in a different way because you see, people was a little bit more primitive at the time. Many thousands and thousands of years ago. People was more primitive. Okay? So you continue to battle this spiritual warfare, whatever, in different lifetimes, similar energy, but in different lifetimes. So it could have manifested and played out differently. But it was a similar kind of warfare that he was fighting for the longest of time. So spiritual warfare for a chosen one is inevitable. You wouldn't be, nobody would be there to bother you if there was not really anything going on with you. Nobody will be really concerned about getting involved with you, trying to bother you, whatever, you know. Nobody will be interested because you have nothing going on. People are more interested because you have something going on. Energetically and spiritually, there is something going on, and everybody is very interested to have a piece of you. Are you following? So nobody was bothered about your hobbies, your lifestyle, your beliefs, and whatever. People wasn't pretty much interested if you wasn't special. They are only interested because you are the complete opposite of what everybody thinks life is all about. When I was back in school, so when I was in college, so I grew up in we used to study in a Catholic school. But for me, for some reason, I did not like church. You know, I did not like church. There was things they were saying. Some of these things I'm thinking, so what are these people talking about? These things are not making sense. I've always been a free thinker, my chosen ones. It could have been the same case with you. I've always been a free thinker. So they are saying this. Then I'm starting to add up all these. I've always been adding up pieces. So if it's 1 plus 1, so how come we're not getting 2? There is something missing in there. So I was always adding up pieces wherever I was. I never liked school. I never liked the churches. There was something that intuitively would tell me that whatever it is they were saying, there was not, there was things wasn't adding up. Intuitively, I would know that a lot of things wasn't adding up. I did not know what it was. Are you following? So there was things that wasn't adding up. I did not know what it was. And whenever what people was going to church, so me what I used to do, I used to hide under the bed. Chosen people, they are rebellious. They're rebellious, naturally rebellious. They don't tend to follow trends, because everybody is going that way. So you have to go that way because everybody is going that way. They will refuse to go that way. They're going to go another side, another direction. So I used to hide under the bed. Reason why I used to hide under the bed was because they was forcing us to go to church. And for me, even at a young age, I would know that there was something going on with the church. It wasn't adding up. And I was feeling like I'm following something which isn't making sense. So I didn't know what it was at the time. And I refused to participate. Yes, sometimes I would be dragged along because you have this team of friends and everybody goes that way, so you try to follow along, and I would figure out that there was a lot of things that wasn't making sense. So because you have got your own way of thinking and you've always had your own way of doing things, I've told you, regardless of which lifetime it was, maybe this one, maybe the previous one, It was always the same cycle because you was going through something whereby you were struggling to self-actualize, evolve, know better, help people, move different directions, but always it was attack after attack because you was fighting unknown spiritual warfare. But again, we understand when you wake up, it makes it easier for you to understand what you've been fighting. It's very recognizable and it's inevitable. But it becomes very clear to you because now you can see it play out in real time. You understand the spiritual attacks much more better than you used to way back in time. So chosen ones, the attacks don't stop, but you play better. You react better. You maneuver better because now you know what is attacking you, okay? So let us know what you think about the video. You guys know I do love and appreciate your support. Please book a session. You may donate or support my channel if you want to. Everything you need, you will find it in the description below. And until then, I will catch you guys in my next one. There's almost signing out. Much love and blessings. Peace.